Hello everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Pestridge. Welcome to another Flight Sim video, and today we're talking about Chaseplane in version 6. Yes, we didn't think it would happen, and it did. Chaseplane Professional has been exclusively designed for version 6. Now, it was only 2 weeks ago at the recording of this video that Parallel 42 is actually stating that Chaseplane was not being planned for version 6. They were sticking with Microsoft, and that was it, and the community was so sad about it. And here we are almost 2 weeks later, and they literally just dropped it. They just announced it. So I'm so happy that this has come about. And there has even been stated somewhere on the website, well, you know, I thought that you guys weren't going to bring it out. An actual fact, what they've stated is that there were no plans to bring it out when they announced that. So they've also stated that there's a reason why it's actually come out for version 6 and why it's got a commercial license for business and training attachment to it, and why it's actually dropped by about a tenner in price, which we'll get into. But there's actually quite more to this story than meets the eye. I actually had a personal discussion with Ed, the owner of Parallel 42. In fact, on the 7th of July, like I stated in my previous video, I reached out to him to actually offer my services to bring Chaseplane to V6 for the community. And the statement, like they said, thanks for the kind offer, but it's not an available option. Chaseplane is a commercial piece of software that's not open source. It's not community driven. The IP is then protected as such. The statement he also said was, a decision has been made on Prepared, its future, and V6 specifically, and for the foreseeable future, that decision stands. Now, when I read that on the 7th of July, this is just after he made the announcement of they won't be bringing it to V6, or there's no plans, rather, to bring it to V6, I kind of took that statement as that he was talking on Prepared. You know, we've made a decision on Prepared and the future with us, and V6 specifically, we ain't going there, type of thing. You know, for the foreseeable future, our decision for V6 and P3D stands. Like, that's not what he was talking about at all, it turns out. It is a vague statement, but it turns out he's actually meaning Chaseplane itself. A decision has been made on Chaseplane for P3D, its future, and specifically V6, and for the foreseeable future, that decision stands. Now, it kind of is a confusing statement to say that currently, right now, there are no plans to bring Chaseplane to V6 and then drop Chaseplane with like a freshly built website. And as you can see, the add-on itself has been redone. They've actually stripped out FSX and Prepared versions 1 to 5. So this is a specific to version 6 version, which will save resources, and you can also, you know, save still your views and everything else, but also you can transport your presets from an earlier version. And it's compatible with all 3 licenses of version 6, which is great. But within 2 weeks, this is quite a outstanding feat to have built not only the product, tested it, and built the website ready for launch. But there's actually more to this. Now, I reached out again to Ed on the 18th of July to thank him for making Chaseplane available. A lot of people are happy about this because I know it was a deal breaker for a lot of people. They were like, I can't get version 6 if I can't have Chaseplane. So I said that I'd actually film a special thanking video, which this is, but it's also a kind of apology as well at the same time, which I'll get into in a sec, for bringing Chaseplane to V6. It's, you know, it's greatly appreciated by the community that they've done it, or that it's been allowed to do by Parallel 42, and I'll get into what I mean by that. So I did offer to do a review video, which I will do in a separate video, not in this. Now, Ed came back to me with some key points that I have to address in this video. He specifically wanted me to say this because it's very important, and he did actually say if I can confirm I can do this, then he'll provide more insight into the development of Chaseplane for V6. In my previous video, I stated that a lot of developers, and I've had this actually fed from developers themselves, who have got like a, not a deal or a contract, but a exclusive right to Microsoft for their add-ons. And like, that's up to Microsoft and those developers. We've seen the action in the community as well, where, for instance, there was planes available in X-Plane 11 that have been pulled and now are only available for free in Microsoft Store. And that's up to those individuals involved. Like that, I personally don't see that as building a community. I feel that as they're building their community and excluding other members of the community. And my opinion is not right. But where I went wrong in that video for Chaseplane saying goodbye to V6 is that Parallel 42 was kind of a part of that. When they were, when I said that they were sort of pulling Chaseplane from V6 to put in Microsoft, that simply was not true and is not the case. And that is what I want to say. Ed has made it clear to me that Microsoft has got zero involvement in Parallel 42, Chaseplane, or any of their efforts. They have no deal, they have no contract, they have no exclusive arrangement, Ed has stated, with Microsoft or Asobo for the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Basically, they are just like every other developer going through the marketplace, which they themselves have actually stated how frustrating that process is. Even though it's been made easier, it still is a bit of a ball ache, it seems. But he wanted to state that my claims that I made with them and Microsoft were false, and he wanted to say that which way you want to say that to soften the backlash from being wrong and spreading the misinformation is up to you. Well, I just say it how it is. If I'm wrong, and I'll state it, but I don't cherry pick things out of thin air. I don't make stuff up. It's all based on fact. So it's all based on interviews I've seen, developers I've spoken to, things I've seen in the community, but Parallel 42 are not a part of that. Now, Ed also goes on to state about the kind of, the development of Chaseplane, and the reason why it's called Chaseplane Professional. Now, he said, while it can be seen as reversing our support for V6, from what they said, it's actually not. He has stated that there were no current plans, but obviously now there is, and there is a reason why. He also stated they're no longer building for that platform at a personal level. So consumers, like going into P3Dv6 or whatever that may be, it's just not going to happen with Chaseplane. He stated that they will continue to support the commercial partners, right, who came together to ensure that they themselves continue to have access to Chaseplane in V6, and that because it's Chaseplane Professional now, which is the sort of commercial partner reason, we can take advantage and still use Chaseplane in V6 through every iteration of V6, and then that's where it ends. Wherever V6 goes up to V6.5, 6.6, whatever, Chaseplane will be there as well. He has personally, he said, negotiated the ability to not have it be exclusive, but to enable it to work on the personal license for casual simmers, and that is why we have Chaseplane. So basically, now he didn't go into any more detail about these commercial partners, even though I straight up asked him, can you talk about it? It basically was stating that, Parallel 42 have a lot of customers, different types. They have us consumers in the flight sim community. Lockheed Martin is a customer of Parallel 42. They use Chaseplane as well, for their needs. And also there are other businesses that also require, Chaseplane, and they actually pay like a commercial license for it. Like, we've had the $50 price tag associated with Chaseplane. It's now £48. But if you buy it in July, it's only $38. So it's a real bargain. Go get it. But commercial partners, man, they've been upward of like $150 per copy for a commercial license. So I tell you now, commercial partners are getting this at a steal, But it's those commercial partners and organizations for both training and for profit that around the world that use Chaseplane, and it's no connection to Lockheed Martin or Microsoft. They've come together. They've made it possible, for Parallel 42 to bring Chaseplane. In other words, they've probably most likely footed the bill, allowing Parallel 42 to bring it. It was a pure business decision. It's nothing that is based on people in the community kicking off. It's got nothing to do with they felt bad for version 6 not getting it. They've actually had members of the community contact them with physical threats of harm, which is really sick, you know, because they didn't bring Chaseplane out. Like, that is really bad. That there are some really bad trolls in this community, but Ed wanted to make sure clear that it was purely a business decision, right? That what they did is to take care of their business partners by negotiating that ability for us consumers to have also access to the product with a moderately priced commercial license. Now, these are Ed's words. I'm not making this up. These are the words that me and Ed had through a conversation. So, like, this is really a great thing. At the end of the day, the closing thoughts are that, you know, we as consumers just get what we're given from developers. You know, we can pick and choose who we go with. At the end of the day, if they don't bring it out, they don't bring it out. But there is kind of like this entitlement in the community where it's like, well, we've always had it for years. How come we haven't got it now? And that is a valid question to ask. But when you go that one step further and start harassing them to say, give it to me now, you know, that is actually the one step too far. You know, there is accepting the decision of a developer. Say, for instance, UK 2000, they have stated publicly, we are not going into P3D anymore. We are Microsoft exclusive. And that is their decision. I accept that. Means all my UK 2000 products will not be updated for V6, sadly. And eventually, if other airports from those airports, you know, if like a Birmingham airport became available from somebody else that was V6 compatible, I'll just swap it out, you know, and eventually my UK 2000 airports would be gone because they chose to do that. And that's fine. I accept that, you know, but I'm not going to harass Gary, you know, and say, yo, dude, do it now or I'm coming to get you. Like, that would be totally wrong. It's like, I can be upset for the fact that they decide to, after years of support and development, they decide to drop it. I can get upset about it because that's a human natural response. But then to go one step further and sort of kick it off or whatever, that's nothing that I would be a part of. They wanted to assure me, Ed wanted to assure me that the decision was very difficult and they had considered many factors, but this was the best way to continue supporting Chaseplane in the best way possible for their users. And it saddens Ed to see users get angry when they don't have access, and angry when they even do get access thanks to the investment of others that saved the day. It says a lot about entitlement in our community, and gladly there's only a small handful of those little trolls, you know, and they're well aware of them, and they appreciate the support and loyalty of the customers, and they are excited to continue providing an award-winning camera system for P3D. Like, he wants to make sure that is known, and that is basically everything I am happy to relay from Parallel 42, the conversation I had with Ed. And you know, I'll be getting this, literally adding to the cart and buying this now, and I will do a review on this, you know, straight away. But I just wanted to make clear in the community that my previous video, which I've now removed from my account, had a factor of wrong information in it. The rest of it was fine. You know, Parallel 42, they've got a lot of products in Microsoft. They brought up the buggy. That's true. They have got the Sky Park with all the camping gear. That's true. And he, in the interview, he stated he's very happy with the market that Microsoft have brought, which are the gamers, and that they're focusing more on that. That's all true still. But what I said about Parallel 42 being part of this exclusive network with Microsoft FLIGHTSIM, that wasn't true. And that's what I'm here to reiterate, because at the end of the day, I don't care about myself and how I look to a community. I care about the truth. And that is all that I dispatch on this channel, is the truth. And if it isn't right, I'll retract it and replace it with the truth. So there we go, guys. That's the truth. That's everything. If you've got any questions, put them in the comment section below, and I'll see you. Don't forget, I run a giveaway of €50 for FLIGHTSIM vouchers from SimMarket. All you have to be within with a chance to win is to subscribe to my channel and put a comment down in any one of my P3D videos. And at the end of the month, I go live with a vlog and I'll announce the winner. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.